Hello everybody and welcome to the 43rd episode of the Chesterfield of Dreams. And if this is your first time visiting the series or you've been waiting for this moment for so long, we can confirm we are in the Premier League. We're just about done pre-season, just a few more weeks to go. But we are a Premier League team for the first time. That second place was of course more than good enough to get us promoted automatically, and we've been joined by Sheffield United, who obviously have benefited from money bags themselves, so they've been on a rapid ascent. But it is absolutely incredible to be here. You would know that I've never taken an English Football League team to the Premier League. I've done it once or twice in other countries, but not in England, and now this moment has arrived, and it's just amazing to be here. I've been doing all sorts of business in the transfer market as I've needed to do. I've been consulting the board to try and get things done, and we've also got other things to look forward to in this league campaign. But let's begin briefly with pre-season and how that's gone. We started off with a standard 6-0 win against our reserves. Nice solid start. We drew 1-1 with Hertha Berlin. Good start, but we didn't really capitalise on it. And then a nice glamour tie against PSV. We drew 1-1 despite going behind, and then a good thrashing of Wycombe Wanderers there, 4-0, and I'm pretty pleased with that. We're going to take a quick look at the board now, because we are expanding the stadium as per Premier League rules. It's going to be a little too late to be finished in time for the league campaign to start the 27th of August there. So the big Watford game will thankfully not be affected as it's away from home, but we're going to be hosting Aston Villa on the day the stadium is complete, so that is brilliant. It should get a massive occasion, and I really look forward to it. We've been hiring a bit more staff as well, but even the board themselves were on the way out, and you can see the status has changed. We'll listen to offers. Now that is absolutely massive, because we had a consortium bid for the club and they pulled out in the end, so no new ownership in the club, which is obviously a bit of disappointing. Consortium, let's see, consortium pull plug, yeah, so they targeted the bid but they didn't reach out in the end. And our finances look like this. We're definitely starting to rake in the money. We're getting all sorts of turnover very quickly indeed. We'll look at that in greater detail. You can see season ticket prices still on the way up. The TV revenue, we've already earned more without having to play a single game than we earned in all of last season, which is outstanding. So that's really where the money is coming in. Merchandise, so far we're nearly there. We're nearly matching what we've done already. And then we've got more sponsorship. You can see it's more than doubled, and there's all sorts of goodies to look forward to as the season goes by, but the ambition is to give it our very best shot. We don't want to be pummeled 12 games in a row in this league. We have to give it our best shot from day one, and this is what I've done in the transfer market already, despite the squad limit being capped at 25. So you can see I've let go of a fair amount of players but not making any money, but we've spent all of our money on these players thus far, and I don't plan on bringing in anyone else, which might be controversial, but I'll explain my reasoning in just a moment. But let's begin with our new right winger, Tom Bertram, who used to play for, was it actually? Yes, it was Hertha Berlin, so he did score a goal against his former club in pre-season. He's been fantastic thus far, and he'll be given plenty of competition on the wings, and crucially he can even play up front. But very pleased with this signing, good and cheap. Alex Pearce, the veteran centre-back, he's 32 years old. We kind of need a bit of knowledge and experience at the back, so I plunked on Alex Pearce, who was of course trained up at Reading, and he was there for the majority of his career, but we decided to take him on a nice and cheap. His wages are pretty big. A lot of players would be jealous of him, but I think we needed to give Pearce a go, see how he gets on. And I think he can be a good leader. He's got the nous, he has the leadership qualities and so on and so forth. So that's kind of what we needed, and I hope he has the legs to give us a really good season. Perhaps a surprise purchase here, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We know all about him in real life, but Cardiff City were not utilising him whatsoever. They had one season with him and he didn't seem to be doing too well at all. Chelsea obviously didn't seem to want to give him a chance. He hasn't been amazing, it has to be said. He's not really a live wire in this save. He's probably lost most of his potential anyway, but we needed a wiser sort of playmaker in the midfield who is obviously determined. He's got vision and he's got strength, so plenty to look forward to with him. But he's not a great tackler, but he will provide a nous of experience and a bit of youthful potential as well. He's probably at the best he'll ever be, but I think he deserves a go in the Premier League, and he's a very nice purchase at that kind of money. Our second centre-back purchase is Kostas Triantafylopoulos. Yeah, that's about it. So he is very physically astute. He's mentally astute, but he's not so good technically. And Aston Villa wanted to have him out of the club, and I decided €900,000 was enough to part ways. He wasn't at all good with them, but when he gets first team football, I expect many great things. Matthew Targett, another young English talent, was up for sale from relegated yet again Southampton. Yeah, they are down. They're yet again under the leadership of David Moyes, and they are not looking healthy whatsoever. There's probably a whole raft of players trying to get out. You can see here Fraser Forster's an old man now. Morgan Schneiderlin, I'd love to have him in the team, but he'd be way too expensive and they're not letting go. So so on and so forth. As for Matthew Targett, he can provide Sean Kavanagh with competition, and he has a Premier League experience. He's not been great, but you kind of have to take the players that are not favoured and make them favoured to stand any chance with the budget I'm on. A loan signing here from Inter Milan. We've gone for a defensive-minded midfielder, Paolo Valagusa. He's from Inter Milan. We're paying just 10% of his wages, but we're paying another 35 grand a week on top to, is it 400 grand a week? I'm not too sure. But it's definitely an expensive one. I hope he'll provide more defensive knowledge. And then recently, because the board had a embargo on transfers, we had this one done very late, but Brian Lenihan from Aston Villa again has been confirmed, and he will be our new right back alongside Matt Doherty, and he's already shot up in value. He's decent on the wage budget, and he's got great potential. The League of Ireland youth has not really been too amazing, but I think he stands a reasonable chance of success. Again, Cardiff not really using their talents properly, but he has a great chance of being a good club man, and I'm very excited about what he can do. In terms of the actual transfer budget, I still have another 3.73 million to spend, with mostly wage budget. That can be changed if necessary, but I don't want to go too mad. You can go any which way I like, but I won't bother at the minute. But let's just take a look at the tactics now that you've met all my new signings. I'm playing a 4-2-3-1 defensive-minded formation now. We don't want to be too brash in our playmaking abilities and so on and so forth, so we can't rely on the 4-4-2 as much anymore. I'm going to probably keep it on, be more expressive and floating crosses and so on and so forth. I think that'll help us. We don't want to be a defensively minded team after getting here, playing good football. And you can see I've still kept most of the other players. They're still here. I can't get rid of the guys I don't want, so they're relegated into the under-21s. But I'll show you the squad register. You can see it here. I'm only allowed 25 players in all, unless they're 20 or younger after the 1st of January 2021. So I have a few players that fit that bill, such as Ronnie Pino, Tom Bertram and Sean Wilson. They're young enough to miss the cut-off. But I have no problems with homegrown. That's not an issue for me. But it's just difficult. What do I do with some of the other players that I can't really let go right away? I could let go of Charlie Raglan, but we need, I think we need to keep in mind if January, like we want to get to January with the majority of the squad I have, and if things are going terribly wrong, I want to make sure I'm ready to make necessary moves. Then I don't want to spend all my money. But at the same time, the goalkeeper, you must be thinking Jakub Rinna's not good enough for this league, and I tend to agree. You can see only 3 stars, whereas Anthony Halsey is 1.5, but he has a bit of potential left. He could still grow, but it's kind of a debate. I don't want to be changing all my positions that have earned their place, but the director of football wanted to put in a bid for Jack Butland. You can see here he's got big wages, but he's very cheap, so it's kind of a dilemma for me, because Jack Butland's another great youngster who's grown to be a not loved player, let's just say. So if I can't find anybody like Jack Butland, there's no point, and I'd rather just stick to the majority of players that I have. But with this 25 player limit, it's not as easy as you'd think, and I'd rather just take it easy and only improve the places that need to be improved, particularly the centre backs. And I've done that, I think. But let me know down below what you guys think. But before I go, I think that's everything that needs to be said. A lot has been discussed, but as I said, we'll be going to Vicarage Road for another live com against Watford. That's going to be absolutely immense. We've got the Capital One Cup second round to look forward to. We're usually knocked out of that tournament very early anyway. We're going to be playing Everton, who'll have some thinking about Stephen Kinsella, who's ineligible. We're going to be getting Newcastle again. We beat them in the cup not so long ago. But you can see we have to wait for Manchester United and Chelsea in the December schedule. That is massive. So those giant games are not until the end of the calendar. So the likes of Manchester City will be the first massive challenge. But Arsenal, I don't know how well they've been doing, but that's kind of going to be a have fun, see how we get on kind of game when it's away from home. But our first home challenge of worthy note is actually I'm playing away for nearly all these big games, but the likes of Norwich is going to be big, Villa is going to be big, so mostly away games. But we play Man United at home at the 28th of December, so massive to say the least. And we got the FA Cup there, and we scroll down and we meet Chelsea on the final day. That could be very important if we're still in the battle to survive. But the games that I would like to get some points out of would be Watford, probably Leicester, Hull, and the Derbyshire Derby. That'll be one to Livecom as well. But we just have to see how we get on. There's no point thinking logically. We have to use our emotions as well. We've earned this spot through our play, and we can't just think logically when we have been as good as we have been in attack. But we have to improve defence, or we are screwed. But apart from that, I think everything that needs to be said has been said, and I wish you a great day, and hopefully this series will continue to grow into what it has been. The last episode was outstanding for a response, and I hope we can keep it up as we prepare for our Premier League debut. I hope you can join me. Bye for now.